Attention, you are about to hear the captivating voice of an icon in the movie industry. You have heard him and seen him in performances in over 140 films. He's met and influenced many world leaders, and now he's about to tell you how to unite the America he loves.
That job's filled.
Unique. Brilliant. And unpredictable. Robert Davi is a Renaissance man who writes, directs, sings, and does it all with excellence.
Yes, okay, we're all very impressed, but let's get on with it now.
Robert Davi believes he should use his voice to both repay and help unite America, the America that made his dreams come true.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Robert Davi Show. Welcome to The Robert Davi Show. I'm Mike Garey once again, sitting in for the great Robert Davi, who's out on assignment in parts unknown. Still working on that special project that hopefully we can bring some more details to shortly. It's been embargoed, but he is working hard on a project that I think is going to be quite thought-provoking and will generate much discussion, not only in Hollywood, but outside of Hollywood and probably around the world. I'm joined by Nick Davi. Nick Davi, how are you?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you very much. So this kind of stumbled across my news feed right now, where several hundred individuals are gathered right now in Daley Plaza, which is in Dallas, Texas. Daley Plaza, of course, was the site of the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy in November of 1963. Why are all these people in Daley Plaza? I mean, we're getting close to the anniversary of the assassination. They're not there for that. No. They're there. They are gathered there in anticipation of John F. Kennedy Jr. returning from the dead, appearing at this event to assume his role as Vice President of the United States. And you know who told them, these individuals who are gathered, that this is happening? Is QAnon. I've never talked about QAnon on the air before. So let's start. QAnon. Nick's looking at me like I'm going to get him in trouble.
QAnon.
I'm not going to get you in trouble, Nick. QAnon is insane. I'm sorry. If people out there who are listening who buy into this QAnon phenomenon, perhaps you need to look into your own mental health. QAnon, of course, is the movement, some might say, that also propagated the theories that certain well-known public figures such as Hillary Clinton, such as Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, so on and so forth, others are involved in a sex trafficking ring. Not only a sex trafficking ring, but also a biological harvesting program where they are taking adrenochrome from children to ingest to give them the power of eternal life. Sounds plausible. Others involved, accordingly, in QAnon. Tom Hanks. Seems on brand for Tom Hanks, America's dad and sweetheart, to be involved in a child sex ring and popping adrenochrome like they're M&Ms. So anybody who's been online knows about QAnon, but this is the origin of QAnon. QAnon is a movement so-called headed by Q, who, according to those who believe, is a member of some secret intelligence governmental agency, and he has access to all the deep, dark secrets of the entire world.
Okay.
Where did this all start? This started on 4chan. 4chan and its successor 8chan, because even QAnon got too crazy for 4chan, are the greatest concentrations of scum and villainy on the entire internet. It's a troll farm. It specializes in pornography. It specializes in wacky conspiracy theories. I'm speaking to 4chan and 8chan. 8chan was now known as 8kun, C-U-N. And somehow this QAnon really caught grasp in the culture. Why? Because it would just give. There's this, they call it Q drops, where every while on 8chan, he would drop his newest information. Q is anonymous, but it's been reported that the actual Q is the moderator at 8chan. Really good way to drive traffic to your website. But he would drop just a little bit of information, and it's like when you go to a psychic or a tarot card reader. They would ask you a couple of probing questions just to get enough information.
Yeah, and then it pretty much it gives them the answer.
It gives them the answers.
Like, oh my god.
And it would reinforce worldviews and ideology that were already disparate to begin with, and so it created this community. So much so that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, former president, I should say, would pay lip service to the QAnon movement. The statement, "Where one goes, we all go." That's a QAnon statement. You might see that on bumper stickers on, the 78 Camino or something like that. There's been photographs of NYPD members with QAnon associated imagery on their body armor.
Didn't Jim Carrey say something?
Jim Carrey, perhaps? I'm not familiar with that reporting. Randy Quaid, I know, who's... Anybody who's seen anything about Randy Quaid knows that he's really mellowed out these past couple of years. He's talked about it. Jim Cazavale, actor and now right-wing pundit, star of Passion of the Christ, he's embraced the QAnon ideology. It's all a lie, folks. It's a lie. First of all, if you're citing sources off 8chan, where it's boards about leaked celebrity sex tapes, transgender pornography, and My Little Pony fan fiction, that's 100% true. If that is your go-to website about quote-unquote doing your own research, you're an insane person. Look, I mean, the government has lied to us about a lot of things. And so I understand the impetus to be quite distrustful about the government or any institution of power. But when you think that Tom Hanks is kidnapping children to perform a vivisection on them, to take the adrenochrome gland to eat so he has eternal life, what are you doing?
Oh God. I wonder, I think about it sometimes. Like who came up with that? Who decided to just like put that out there in the world, and they're like, all right, let's see what happens.
It reminds me when you're like 11 years old and you're like, at your sleepover with your buddy's house. We just had Halloween. And so you're kind of in that spiritual kind of mode, and you bring out the Ouija board, and then the Ouija board takes on the personality of all of those involved, but not singularly. And so anything can go. Anything flies. You move it around. And there's certain people there in the QAnon, because the whole point of these boards was to be politically incorrect and irreverent. And so you'd have very cynical people who know that QAnon and all this stuff is a blatant fabrication and lie. They'd stoke the fire a little bit, laughing all the way. And then some poor dummy out there takes it as gospel, gets his AR-15 and goes to Comet Pizza in Washington, D.C. because Q says that's the nexus of the sex child trafficking ring. And where did the adrenochrome part come from? That was lifted directly from Hunter S. Thompson's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Dr. Gonzo, his attorney,
my God,
talks about that. And so they take these small things from culture, from popular movie culture. I mean, come on. You haven't seen Fear and Loathing or read the book and kind of put those connections together?
That's right, guys. QAnon is from a Nick Cage film. It's from a Nick Cage film.
What are you doing?
Proven right here and right now.
And then now, QAnon, they've gotten on the vaccine anti-vax trip as well. John F. Kennedy Jr. died in a plane crash, tragically. He's going to come back and assume his role as vice president? Was he ever elected vice president? The level of critical thinking is unbelievable. Seriously, for the good of yourself, seek mental health. Counseling, some sort.
No, yeah.
Anywho, we talked about this briefly last week, Nick and I, real fast before we go to break, is that we talked about the Tesla Hertz deal, which Hertz said that they were going to purchase 100,000 Tesla Model X's, Model 3s that is, in a deal worth over $2.5 billion. Hertz's stock went up, Tesla's stock surged. Now Tesla's stock is down a little bit. Why? They never signed the deal.
Really?
Remember last week when I said it was all smoke and mirrors?
That's right, yeah.
It's all smoke and mirrors. Stick around right after the break. We're going to talk to Erik Osberg. Talk about his new docu-series about quality life in rural areas. Stick around. Erik Osberg right after the break. Stay with us.
I'm Al Simon, 91 years young. I created Balance 7 20 years ago. At 67, I went to see the doctor for the first time in my life and found that I had medical problems. He told me that was normal for my age. I don't believe God intended us to be sick and old. I decided to find something to bring my health back. For 10 years, I studied pH and how important it is to the human system. Balance 7 gave me back what I lost by getting older. I no longer get out of bed with a joint discomfort. Balance 7 can do for you what it has done for me and many others. In 3 days' time, you'll feel more energy, less joint discomfort, and clarity of thinking. No doctor or hospital can do what Balance 7 can do for you. Balance 7 is the key to unlocking the healthy immune system. Bring your body back to balance. Order now. Receive free shipping with the code word AL. Go to balance7.com. That's balance7.com. Order now and get your free shipping and a free gift with your order. Go to balance7.com. Use the code word AL.
Hi, this is Fred Dwyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's, at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. It's a fantastic place to celebrate the holidays. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with our 10-foot Christmas tree. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes, pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our incredible pizza, and our incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown in from Italy. Angelo's and Vinci's is the perfect spot for your holiday dinner or party. Get your shopping done for everyone by purchasing holiday gift certificates. Feel the spirit at Angelo's and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling, the complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day, and for as little as $199 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you all the customized options. Now you can have a brand new bathroom in as little as 1 day. Large or small bathrooms, if you want a new bathtub or shower installed, we can do it in as little as 1 day. And if you call right now, you can save $750 off your remodel. We make it easy by offering you financing as low as $199 per month. Call now to schedule your free in-home consultation.
855-525-7454. 855-525-7454. That's 855-525-7454.
Robert Davi.
You know,
when I'm the one delivering the message, not receiving it.
And we are back. Robert Davi Show. Mike Garey sitting in for Robert Davi on assignment. Right before the break, we talked about how Tesla stock surged last week upon the news that they had signed an agreement, or agreed to an agreement in principle with Hertz Rent-A-Car. Hertz was going to purchase 100,000 Model 3s. And subsequently, Tesla stock shot up over 7%. Hertz stock, which has been not great, Hertz on the verge of bankruptcy, shot up as well. And now, straight from the horse's mouth himself, Elon Musk said that on Twitter earlier today that no agreement has been signed. He also said, due to production demands, that Hertz will not get a fleet discount and will pay sticker price on these Model 3s. Doesn't sound like a good business decision for Hertz.
Not at all. It sounds like they're going to be losing a lot of money.
A lot of money indeed. And this is kind of talk about this in the background of the climate conference that's going on right now in Europe. Is that I've always thought, and I think that there's a lot of research out there and smarter people than I that agree with this viewpoint, that the pivot towards electrification at the consumer level is not necessarily the way to go. We're going to talk about that in the next segment. I want to bring our fantastic guest on right now, because this is an issue that I really want to discuss. We're going to speak to Erik Osberg. He's going to talk about his new docu-series about quality of life in rural areas, rewriting the rural narrative. It's a new docu-series, Rural by Choice, which explores the benefit of creating a life you don't need to escape from. Erik, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. So check out Rural by Choice, OTC.com. And Erik, this is interesting. Here in California, we're out here in California, and we're seeing a lot of people move to rural areas because they're getting priced out of Los Angeles. A lot of people are moving to the high deserts, to the Los Padres National Forest. And you guys have a new docuseries all about this rural lifestyle. Tell us about this new docuseries, Rural by Choice.
Well, it's a 7-part series, and it follows Corey Heppola, who is a radio host himself. He works at a radio station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And he grew up in Perham, Minnesota, which is a town of 2,500 people. And like many of us, he moved away to chase his dream, right? He's been very successful. He was a Emmy Award-winning news anchor, and now, as I mentioned, he has his own radio show. But now he has 3 kids, and he lives in the suburbs. And so we asked him to come and examine where he grew up through the lens of somebody who's in their 30s and 40s with kids. And the fun thing about the series for me was Corey in this video, he was pretty vulnerable. He kind of opened himself up and admitted that he was in such a hurry to leave when he was a kid that he didn't really appreciate all the things that he had around him. And I don't think that's ever going to change. I think 18-year-olds are going to want to move away, and we're not going to stop that. But what we're trying to do is just introduce the rural lifestyle as a viable choice, regardless of your current economic status or your profession. You can be a doctor, lawyer, plumber, mechanic, whatever. You can live a rural lifestyle, and it's pretty sweet.
Well, especially now more than ever, because if this pandemic has taught us anything, is that a lot of work, especially white-collar work, can be done remotely from anywhere in the world, correct?
Absolutely. And pre-pandemic, remote work, telework, that was kind of a unicorn, right? Like, does it really exist, and can it be done, and will people be as productive? And I think what many of us have learned during the pandemic is, as long as I have good internet connection, I can work kind of from anywhere in the world. And so why not live in a place where on a Tuesday night I'm not fighting traffic or I'm not whatever. I can just do whatever I want to do. If it's a nice day outside, I go spend the day outside, and I don't have to add an extra hour or 2 to my day just getting to and from work.
Oh,
So,
tell me
so
about
yeah,
it. Tell me
absolutely.
about it, Eric. I'm at 75 miles round trip a day. So then, and like you said, it's the access to broadband is increasing in rural areas, and that really is blowing it all out. But talk to me a little bit about what the quality of life. How is quality of life different in rural areas as composed to bigger cities?
Well, the number one or the top 4 reasons that people have cited for relocating to a rural place is a little bit about what we've just talked about, which is just a simpler pace of life. Just trying to slow down a little bit, enjoy life a little bit more. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, the housing costs. And I would say across the board, just the cost of living. In Otter Tail County, Minnesota, you can live for 64 cents on the dollar when compared to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Now, that's not a knock on Minneapolis-St. Paul area, but it's, you don't have to make as much when you don't spend as much.
Well,
the other reason, what's that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, the other reason people have said they moved here was access to outdoor recreation opportunities. We have 1,048 lakes in Otter Tail County. That's more lakes than any other county in the United States. And with all those lakes, there's endless opportunities for outdoor recreation. And the fourth reason is just safety and security when it comes to raising a family. So those are the top 4 reasons people have cited when they've moved back to a rural place.
Tell us a little bit about Otter Tail County. It sounds beautiful.
It is beautiful. The video. The best way I could describe it is have people watch the videos. Right. One of the cool things about this docu-series is I believe it is cinematic in the way that it was put together. It looks pretty cool. And so to get a better idea of Otter Tail County, watch some of the videos on Rural by Choice OTC. But like I mentioned, we have 1,048 lakes. There's rolling hills, winding roads, trees. We've got all 4 seasons. If you're not into winter, that's okay. But it's some farmland, agriculture is still a big part of our economy here in Otter Tail County, Minnesota. But our claim to fame is the lakes. And if you like water, like being around lakes, we've got 1,048 to choose from.
Talking to Erik Osberg. He's the Rural Rebound Initiative Coordinator for Otter Tail County. Let's talk about this Rural Rebound Initiative. Well, it's based off of research from Ben Winchester at the University of Minnesota Extension Office. And the narrative, the traditional narrative about rural is that it's dead or it's dying or it's, shutting down or what are we going to do? And what Ben found was if you looked at age cohorts, if you just looked at 30 to 49-year-olds, there was a net positive gain in rural counties kind of nationwide. I mean, there's outliers on both sides, right? But it was a naturally occurring phenomenon. And so we started the Rural Rebound Initiative to just try to take advantage of that naturally occurring phenomenon and to really write our own narrative and document the good things that are happening in and around Otter Tail County and enjoy others to experience it. All right, I'll get you out of here this on, Eric. Real fast, where can we get more information not only about the docu-series but also about the Rural Rebound Initiative? RuralByChoiceOTC.com or OtterTailLakesCountry.com. Fascinating. That sounds. I could really go for the pace of the rural lifestyle. I'm ready to get off the urban living. Eric, thank you so much. Erik Osberg. That is RuralByChoiceOTC.com. RuralByChoiceOTC.com. Thank you, Eric. Davi, back in a minute.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavonols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
The Robert Davi Show.
I'm Dwayne Robinson, LAPD. I'm in charge here. Not anymore.
We're back. Robert Davi Show. Mike Garey, CRN Digital Talk Radio, CRNTalk.com, Facebook.com/CRNTalk. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, you can watch this show live on CRN's custom-built Roku channel, available in the Roku App Store. Also available on Tiki Live, which is a great video website and cable alternative. Also, you can watch us right on CRNTalk.com and on Facebook.com/CRNTalk. All previous sessions available on YouTube as well as on podcast. Robert Davi Show podcast, wherever you get your fine podcasts. Thanks once again to Erik Osberg. Check out the new docu-series Rural by Choice and check out the website ruralbychoiceotc.com. Just recently, a friend of mine who I grew up with here in Los Angeles, he moved to rural Indiana, northwest Indiana. Just bought a nice house. And folks, rural doesn't mean that you're, living in the boondocks necessarily. I mean, rural can mean our conception, like when people come out here from East Coast, anywhere in the United States, maybe save the Northeast, they come here and they say, why are these houses so close together? And when you drive around the country, go around the country, there's like maybe 30, 50 yards in between houses. No fences or anything like that. A lot of...
That's definitely how it is in Colorado, I remember, yeah. It's just a big open land. There's like, there's nothing, you know? I mean, they've built, I think, maybe around 10,000 new homes the last like year or two. Something obscene like that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's here. I mean, we're butt to tea kettle out here in California. I mean, I'm getting out of the shower and I can see my next door neighbor making her eggs in the morning. But my friend of mine, he just moved to Northwest Indiana, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet on a half an acre, manicured lawns, finished basement with a tiki lounge down there. It's sick. 190 grand.
That's it. Oh wow. See, out here,
it's $1 million.
$1 million plus.
That's $1 million.
Easy.
$1 million. Now the argument would be, well, what kind and what are the amounts of the high-paying jobs you can find in Northwest Indiana? But like we said, a lot of people, a lot of white-collar workers can now work remotely. So I imagine that we're going to see a lot more of this. I mean, just anecdotally, I know a lot of people in my life are, considering the same options.
Yeah.
What's that going to change? What's that going to do to our metropolitan centers? I mean, we've gone through this cycle before for different reasons. We've gone through this cycle in the 60s because of white flight, because of suburbanization. When the suburbs were built and a lot of people who originally lived in cities moved to the suburbs. And we saw what happened to a lot of these city centers as they became decrepit and they became hellscapes. Downtown Los Angeles in the 80s, when I was a little kid, sketch.
Really?
Downtown Los Angeles right now, pretty nice.
Yeah, it's popping out there.
So it works in cycles, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's still a homeless issue, but no, I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. We're gonna do a whole show on homelessness one of these days. But I want to speak to Tesla once again. Drove by the Tesla store last night. A nice Model S right there in the window. Sticker price $99,000. Very nice car. If you've ever ridden a Tesla, quality control issues notwithstanding, they're a nice environment to be in. They're really fast.
No, their acceleration is actually insane. I think they can beat I don't think all Porsches off the line, but I think most of them. Most Porsches
in a straight line, they'll pretty much smoke anything out there.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they've become status symbols. And status symbols not only because they are luxury cars, but also because it shows that you're conscious about the environment. We first went through this phenomenon when the Prius came out. The dual motor Prius, I might add. But the consumer-facing electrification of consumer goods, such as cars, is that really going to save the planet? Some argue that won't. Some argue, and this is a really valid argument, that electrification should start at the very first backward linkage. Backward linkage being in industry, one company makes this, another company makes that, so on and so forth. So think about it this way. That Tesla that you're driving with that lithium-ion battery pack, where's those batteries, where they manufactured? What are they made of? They're made of rare earth minerals, rare earth metals. Most of that is mined in China. Do you think China is using state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly manufacturing mining processes? No
way.
Probably using slave labor. You know how much diesel it takes to mine these rare earth metals? I mean, you got one Cat D9 digging up cobalt, pumping out CO2 like the time to make a battery for your Tesla. And then they put that battery pack onto a container cargo ship that's burning heavy fuel oil that's now stuck off the port of Los Angeles because of the supply chain issue, because we don't have enough truck drivers who are driving diesel trucks, by the way, sitting there idling in the bay, pumping out CO2. Imagine it, let's say, luckily, it does get to the port. It gets offloaded by a rubber tire gantry running on diesel. It gets put on an 18-wheeler, running on diesel.
Yeah.
It goes up to Fremont, California, where it's assembled in the Tesla factory. And then it's put again on an 18-wheeler on a car carrier and then sent to the dealerships. Those are the backward linkages.
What do you think can be done about it?
So you start at the back. What you do is you electrify the manufacturing process from day one. The mining, the metalwork, the transportation of these parts. The end user, the end Tesla user, that's one process. It's one non-emission emitting vehicle. But to get that Tesla to market, you got multiple 18-wheelers. You got cargo ships.
Just the whole process.
You got bulldozers.
Yeah.
You got earth movers. You got backhoes. And so having a Tesla is all great. You know, it's nice. And if you want to buy one for solely economic reasons, to save money on gas, good for you. If you want to buy one because you want to reduce the dependency on foreign oil, which this country is nearly foreign oil independent, good for you. But if you look down your nose at me in my Passat with my 1.8 liter turbo engine that gets 39 miles to the gallon highway, what are you doing? I mean, say what you want to say, but if you're in a Tesla or an Audi e-tron or the new Porsche Taycan, which is hot.
Oh, I saw that. It was,
Porsche Taycan is hot.
Did you see the new R8?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's insane. It's faster than a motorcycle. I'm not even kidding. Like some Ducatis.
Pro tip: if you are into this, the status symbol chasing, the keeping up with the Joneses, and you want to get a Tesla, get the Porsche Taycan instead, because that'll turn heads.
Okay.
But the whole manufacturing process, though, that is where the lion's share of these emissions come from. And now we're seeing reports of this climate change meeting that's happening in Europe right now that India says it'll abide by UN climate recommendations, but they won't get till 2070. China's not even there.
Who knows do you think China would ever even get there? I mean,
no. No. What in the communist, in the Chi Comp history, whenever they ever not put the regime first?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the regime of the Cultural Revolution. This is the regime of Tiananmen Square. I think they care about broader issues concerning human rights and the environment? No.
That comes not even second on their list.
So the whole paradigm needs to be shifted. And does this mean there needs to be some sort of draconian federal regulation? Maybe. But just buying your Tesla is not the only answer. I believe in global warming. The great Robert Davi believes in global warming. I've always respected him because that's brave in the conservative space. Teslas are cool, folks, but they're not going to save the planet. Davi, back in a minute.
I'm Al Simon, 91 years young. I created Balance 7 20 years ago. At 67, I went to see the doctor for the first time in my life and found that I had medical problems. He told me that was normal for my age. I don't believe God intended us to be sick and old. I decided to find something to bring my health back. For 10 years, I studied pH and how important it is to the human system. Balance 7 gave me back what I lost by getting older. I no longer get out of bed with a joint discomfort. Balance 7 can do for you what it has done for me and many others. In 3 days' time, you'll feel more energy, less joint discomfort, and clarity of thinking. No doctor or hospital can do what Balance 7 can do for you. Balance 7 is the key to unlocking the healthy immune system. Bring your body back to balance. Order now. Receive free shipping with the code word AL. Go to balance7.com. That's balance7.com. Order now and get your free shipping and a free gift with your order. Go to balance7.com. Use the code word AL.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Keep listening for a free offer from U.S. Med. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of sticking your fingers over and over again. By simply wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of sticking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar daily and administering insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call today and learn about the latest CGM technology. We'll send you a free ebook telling you all you need to know about CGMs. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. Your new CGM may be covered by Medicare or private insurance. Call now to learn more. 800-524-9313. 800-524-9313. That's 800-524-9313.
Robert Davi.
Another $80 million write-off.
I guess it's time to start cutting overhead.
And we're back. Robert Davi Show. CRN Digital Talk Radio, CRNTalk.com. I should touch upon something that I spoke to in the last segment about Tesla. If Tesla wants to offer to sponsor the show and give me and Nick a free Tesla, I'd be happy to have one of their engineers come on and talk about the greatness of Tesla and how they actually are saving the planet. So I'd like a Model S, please. P90D, black on black. And what would you like, Nick? Model X.
I'm gonna have to do that Model X as well. Yeah. Model X. I want it matte.
Oh, matte, nice.
I want it matte white.
Matte white, Miami style.
White. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a cool little look.
Or if any other luxury car dealer wants to come on and sponsor this show,
McLaren,
and provide us with tester vehicles or any sort of swag.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding. No payola here at this radio station.
If only.
If only. So yesterday was the deadline for the New York Police Department to comply with a vaccine mandate for their officers or otherwise face unpaid suspension and leave. Classy.
You like that?
Yeah. And the weeks leading up to this, you saw a lot of political pundits, a lot of NYPD unions, Sergeants Union, Patrolmen's Union, so on and so forth, say that, hell, NYPD, you're going to see 10,000 officers off the street, sent home without pay, and that the streets will be run amok by criminals because there's no police to police the streets. There's 35,000 NYPD members. They're the three largest law enforcement agencies in the country are 1, FBI, 2, the California Department of Corrections, 3, the NYPD. 35,000 officers in uniform. And leading up to this implementation of the vaccine mandate for their officers, because it makes sense. Police officers have to go in public and deal with people. You don't want them to spread viruses. They're in close contact, so on and so forth. But there's a vocal minority, and I'll touch upon the extent of that minority in a minute, that said that we're not going to do this. We're going home. And a viral photo surfaced yesterday of a long line of NYPD members at a clerk's desk telling them that they're not going to take it, that they're not going to subjugate themselves to this draconian and quote-unquote unconstitutional vaccine mandate. So the numbers are in, Nick, of the actual number of NYPD officers who are now on unpaid leave because they would not take the vaccine. They refused to take the vaccine.
How much was that number?
35,000.
35,000 was the total number?
Total number of NYPD officers.
Alone, just NYPD.
NYPD, the total number of officers now, NYPD out of that 35,000 who are going to walk off the job to stand by their principles because they're not going to take it anymore. 36. 36.
Wait,
not 3,600, not 360.
How is that even possible? That's more than there are officers.
No, only 36.
Oh, only 36.
Out of 30.
I thought you meant like not 360, not 3,600, but 36.
36.
I was like, wait a minute.
36 out of the 35,000.
That's not that bad at all. It's not even a little scratch.
The day after St. Patrick's Day, I bet 2,000 NYPD call in sick.
Probably. I mean,
the day after a Knicks win, it's probably 5,000. And the Giants win on Sunday. That Monday, stay home, folks.
The whole city's off.
It's a hellscape. Vaccine mandates work. They work. 36 out of 35,000. And the NYPD, they don't like to get pushed around. As the great warrior poet Everlast said, is the NYPD is the biggest crew in all of New York City. They don't take guff from nobody. Now their vaccination rate's over 90% total. And only 36 officers walked off the job. And those 36 shouldn't be allowed back, in my opinion. The goal of the police officer is to provide public safety. If you refuse to take the vaccine, go out there, shed virus, you're not protecting public safety. So stay home. Get a new job. Get a new job.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do for the time being.
Viral videos, too, of nurses walking off the job. Good. You're not going to believe in science? You're not going to trust not only the healthcare providers that you work with, but also peer-reviewed studies? Fine. See you later.
Everyone thinks they're a genius now because everyone has a little thing.
And it's interesting. It's interesting too that police officers are very vocal about this. Well, I guess maybe that's a misnomer if only 36 are actually walking off the job. Anywho, let's talk about something fun. You want to talk about something?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm all for something hilarious.
All right. We got to be careful about this.
I already know what it is, I think.
We got to be careful. Pete Davidson. Speaking of New York City, Pete Davidson, he's a comedian, an actor. He was currently on SNL. He's done several films as well. Staten Island. He was actually pretty good in The Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually the son of an NYPD member.
No,
FDNY.
Yeah,
FDNY, who was tragically killed on 9/11. So that must have been a very, very tragic experience. And Pete David, I'm looking at a photo right now. Average looking guy.
Yeah.
Kind of pale.
Got a lot of dumb tattoos.
A lot of tattoos, a little pasty.
I think he has like literally, I don't know, I think a pineapple on his chest. I don't know.
Okay.
I heard he has a pineapple.
Whatever you need to do to express yourself. But he pale guy, skinny guy. Yeah. One of those guys that looks like he doesn't shower that often. He's now dating Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, some say, is like, one of the great sex symbols in America. Modern day Marilyn Monroe. Voluptuous, Rubenesque. I'm sure they have a lot of great things to talk about. I'm sure they converse about world events.
Isn't she like 20 years older than him?
She's 41. He's 27.
Okay, so it's not... Okay, it's not
too
that
bad
at all.
That's right in your wheelhouse, actually, Nick. But Pete Davidson, the dude is getting it done. I mean, say what you want about
lucky son of a gun. That's all I have to say.
What is it about Pete Davidson? Let's go through the list. Here's the list. This is a partial list.
It's probably because he's funny. I don't know.
Carly Aquino, White Beautiful. She's an actress. Cassie David, Larry David's daughter, is quite comely as well. And also her dad's worth like $300 million. Ariana Grande.
Talk about like literally, he's got all the top
And speaking of older women, after Ariana Grande, he goes to Kate Beckinsale, who's a hot cougar.
I'm not even kidding you right now. I think I'm exposing myself.
Let it out,
but
Nick. Let it all out.
I had a huge childhood crush on Kate Beckinsale. She was like, I don't know. It was just something else.
That was a 20-year age gap. And then he goes to Margaret Qualley, who's an actress as well. Kia Gerber, who is the daughter of Cindy Crawford.
She looks exactly like her, too. It's
looks
insane.
exactly like her. Phoebe Dynevor, another actress. And now Kim Kardashian. And these are just, relationships that have been reported about in public.
I can't even believe this is a thing.
I'm a pretty funny guy. I don't get these kind of girls.
Hey, man.
Do you think it's because he's kind of quote unquote known as the bad boy in comedy? Because he'll tell off-color jokes.
Yeah, but he ain't no Dave Chappelle.
No, he's no Dave. No, of course not. He's no Dave Chappelle, but
like he's funny. Yeah, he's made me laugh before. But like, there's times where I've been watching him, and he loses me a little bit.
But also, what he does too is that he intersperses comedy with more serious material about his own mental health.
Yeah.
And so he's one of those, performers out there. It's almost like spoken word comedy style where he really wears his emotions and his fables and his foibles on his sleeve. So my theory is that a lot of these women see him as a fixer-upper, as a project.
Okay.
Here's this damaged little bird that they can bring back to the nest.
Let's strap up his wings.
Let's so he could fly.
You think Kim Kardashian's going to make him fly, or is he going to move on to Betty White?
But now it's like, Shelby Foote, a great writer about the Civil War, says that once a reputation of an army is built, that reputation becomes truth, and the army becomes unbeatable. And so every time that Pete Davidson scores one of these hot chicks, his confidence grows, and all the other hot chicks out there say, hey, if Ariana Grande and Kate Beckinsale and Cassie David dated him, he must be something special.
Yeah, that's got to be a thing. That has to be a thing. I think you scientifically just cracked some code.
I'm a genius. But like the economy, it's smoke and mirrors. Because he doesn't stay with these girls. And Kim Kardashian, honestly.
Wasn't he going to marry Ariana Grande?
Yeah, and then they broke up like the day after the engagement.
God.
And Kim Kardashian, I better not say. I've said some things.
We all know why she's famous.
Yeah, huh? So Pete Davidson, I don't know if
that's America to me.
I'm impressed or if I hate him. I think I hate him.
Makes me laugh, but I hate the guy. I'm jealous.
Or at least write a book or something like that. Give us some pointers.
Help us out,
Help us out.
Help us out.
But like Tesla, if Pete Davidson wants to come on the show and promote any of his products, we'd love to have him. Davi, see you guys later. Take care. God bless America.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling, the complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day and for as little as $199 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you